I have to say, I am very happy with how this worked out. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for episode 12 of season 9 of RuPaul's Drag Race. And like I said, I am happy with the way that this actually turned out. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So we're down to the last 4 girls. We got Peppermint, Sasha, Shay, and Trinity. That's it. So it's a battle right now for these 3 spots to go on to the finale. So the first thing that they did that made me very happy, because Ru sent Michelle Visage down to talk to the girls. And the first thing she said that I just got just excited, Todrick was back. So they were going to be sitting with Todrick after they write a verse. They were going to go over and record the verse with Todrick Hall. So that was exciting. I said, oh my gosh. And it was up to them to do whatever you wanted. You know, you could sing it, rap it, spoken word, whatever it is that you wanted to do for your part of Ru's song category is. So I was like, okay, cool. Cool. So I was like, this is going to be interesting because I figure all 4 would be really different. But they weren't. They all kind of went the rap. You know, the rap, more hip-hop-y kind of drag type of route. So I said, okay, cool, no problem. And then I got all excited all over again when I found out he was going to be spending even more time with them and choreographing them actually performing. They basically, you know, every season they usually make a video. You know, Ru does a video and they release the video. Well, they basically did their video live on stage. It was a live performance. Todrick Hall. So, I was even more excited when I found out that Todrick Hall was actually going to be doing the choreography. The next part that they were actually going to be doing was doing guest spots on Ru and Michelle's podcast. I said, this is marketing fucking gold. So you've all won. All 4 of you have won at this point, okay? All 4 of you have won. These are things nobody can take away. Working with Todrick Hall, working with you know, in the studio with Todrick Hall, working in the choreography floor with Todrick Hall, guest starring on that damn podcast with all them goddamn viewers and listeners. Please, all 4 of you bitches have won. So I was like happy across the board. And there's still one more thing that made me even more happy. When we got down to the recording studio and I seen who was up in there working with Todrick Hall. Hey, Vonore. Hi, Vaughn. How you, boo? I was just ecstatic. I know Vaughn from years ago. Vaughn Allure is one of the baddest house DJs. Period. So I was so happy to see Vaughn, and I was like, oh my God, damn it, I done messed around and didn't get on the right season. But it was like great to see Vaughn, and I was like, this is just the fucking best. So we hadn't even gotten anywhere. 20 minutes in, I was like sitting over here just grinning. I was like, this is the shit right here. So let me just say this. Okay, so I don't have anybody in the competition that I'm like, oh, this girl has got to win. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm okay with any of them winning at this point. It just is what it is. I don't have one that I would prefer. Either one of the four wins, I would be fine with that. And that's honest. So let's talk about what went on. Okay, so when they went into the studio, Shay literally just turned it completely out. Straight out. She turned it out. Turned it out. There was nothing to say. That bitch just flowed like she been rapping. And she probably has. Since I think Shay actually attended school for performing arts. So this bitch has probably been flowing and writing bars and carrying on the whole time she was in school doing her thing. She killed it. Trinity struggled a bit in the beginning, but then Todrick was able to pull it out of her. It was like, okay, Peppermint fucking killed it. Another one. She's probably been writing and doing, she's a New York queen, so she's used to being live on the mic. She sings, she does all these things. So it just came very natural to Peppermint. Sasha, I was impressed with because Sasha was completely struggling with the whole situation. But then underneath the guidance of Todrick, he was able to speak to Sasha in a way that she got it and the bell came on. And her part, I thought, was flawless. What he did, it was very much her. And he basically just told her, do you, but kind of drag it up. Take it to high-level drag and drag it up. And for whatever reason, he said that, and it basically resonated with her. And I loved her part. I loved her part in it. So that worked really, really well. Now let's talk about the podcast situation. In the podcast, Peppermint actually talked about drag versus trans life and how you could be both. How because people have led her to believe that once you go into your transition, your career in drag is over, which is a lie. It's a lie. There are some things that no, she won't be able to do. Like she would never be able to run for Miss US of A. But she could damn sure go run for Miss Continental. She could damn sure run for, hell, you take a pick. There's a ton of national pageants and things that she will be able to run for. Even being a trans, in the transition, she will definitely be able to perform and all that. So that's just a misconception. So she kind of cleared that up and actually explained that. So that was good. Sasha spoke about her parents and how she shared a lot with her dad, but she did not share a lot with her mother, and her mother passed away of cancer, and she kind of regretted that she didn't share more of herself with her mother and what was really going on with her. Trinity literally had a whole situation about regrets and family, where she was actually helping take care of her grandmother and everything. And she was saying how, her and her grandmother had a really bad argument toward the end, and she told her grandmother that she hated her and never got the chance to apologize and tell her grandmother she really did not mean that. So she really drove home that whole thing about saying things and not getting the chance to take them back. So that's kind of something that I think she battles with probably daily. You know what I mean? And of course, Rue told her, child, your grandmother would forgive you. That's something that happened in the heat of an argument, and y'all had so much more time other than that little piece. Your grandmother would have forgiven you. And she said, I didn't mean that. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, so that was interesting. I'm going to get good life lesson. That's a life lesson. If you can, you really shouldn't say things unless you really actually mean them, because literally more moments with that person are not really promised. You know what I mean? They can walk away from you and that's the last time you see them. And it happens so often. Shay actually talked about being teased you know, for not being black enough, then not being white enough, then being too gay, and that whole kind of thing. Then she had this whole little thing where she talked about clowning, honey, and shouting at church. Child sat over here and squalled, honey. I said, you didn't just, her and Ru going back and forth, honey, giving, I said, oh, y'all better quit. I sat here and I said, you all will not sit up on here on VH1 and clown the black church. Y'all better stop it. And I mean, stop it right now. I sat here and kept my life. Anyway, don't get me started on the church. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so choreography. Child Peppermint turned to choreography. It was not a problem. Shay, by far, took the choreography and slayed. Bitch! Listen, Shay had Trinity so motherfucking shook and stuttering and shaking in her boots, honey. Trinity struggled through the whole thing. She struggled through the whole thing, and so did Sasha. But Sasha struggled, but was very willing to do what she had to do. Trinity was kind of letting it get the best of her. She just struggled through it. And baby, when Shay got up there last, honey, it just really broke Trinity's spirit, honey. When Tawdra said, can you do a pirouette? She's like, yeah. How about a double pirouette? Yeah. She said, how about a triple? I can try. And that bitch said, I said, oh, bitch. And Trinity was over there like this. I said, girl, she got you, bitch. She got you, honey. So I laughed at that so good. I said, oh, my God. So, okay. So let's move on to them actually doing their thing on stage. No, before we do that, let's talk about Ru. Honey. Here up. Yes, ma'am. Here down. Girl, if you don't take that snowflake dress and get on out of here, honey, I couldn't with that snowflake. It just looked like you know, you fold paper up and you cut the holes in it and then you open it. If Zaldi did that, I can't with that one. Sorry. That it didn't give me origami. It didn't give me. It just looked like paper, like a paper snowflake. And it was, the makeup and the hair was flawless. I just felt like they just wasted a whole look on that dress. I was like, oof. And it was just boxy and it just didn't do anything for her. I didn't like that at all. I don't like that for my queen, honey. I didn't care for that. But anyway, moving on. I'm sure somebody loved it. I didn't. Let's talk about them doing their actual song live. They did it. You know, they lip sync through it, and it was very, very good. Very good. I think this was actually the best of those group performances that I have seen on the show thus far. And the way that Sasha entered the whole scene, like she climbed up on stage in this very obnoxious way with a beaded dress on, flawless. It was flawless. It was, I couldn't have even picked one. They all did so good. They really did. They did good. I loved it. It was choreographed to perfection. And they did the shit out of it. So that was really good. I'm like, okay, this is going to be a mess. I'm like, I am so glad I'm not sitting on this judging panel. So then we go into the last look was top 4 eleganza. And these bitches came out and pulled out their best of their best. They brought out their Sunday best go to meeting clothes, honey. Peppermint girl, honey, it was horrible. She wore this ball gown and it just looked cheap. Sorry. I ain't got no other way to even explain it. It just looked cheap. It just didn't. Cheap. I didn't like it. I didn't care for that ball gown. It looks hot. It looked hot, boxy, and I didn't like that. I didn't care for that at all. Did nothing for her. And she had that another one of them fake out Ru hairdo. I didn't like it. Sasha's look was Very Sasha, and it looked really good. It was very Sasha, just looked like her. It was like a beaded, very vintage looking type of, yeah, like she got it from a vintage store, but cute. Very Sasha. Shay, please. High fashion runway. High fashion runway, and it was giving me Terry Mugler, honey. I said, look, and then she started saying where her inspiration was Bob Mackie versus Beyonce versus, I was like, yeah, all that you talk about, girl, and Terry Mugler, honey. If you'd have bumped it up 2 more notches, girl, it would have been Terry Mugler, honey. I said, oh my, I liked it. I liked it a lot. She broke it up. Totally broke it up. And then Trinity, bitch, please. Miss Trinity, bitch, you pulled a Vanessa Williams, bitch. You saved the motherfucking best for last, bitch. She came out there and gave you pageant gown down. I said, bitch. And then the bitch turned around and had drape chains all down the back. I said, girl, get out of here, Miss Trinity. Get out of here, honey. And that little waved up, nappy, lopsided dude, honey, girl, yes, ma'am. I said, okay, girl. That bitch had her, looked like they took a, one of them little tight little, finger wave wigs, honey, and broke it apart like this, cocked it ace deuce, honey, and teased it, and left it nappy on this side and nappy on the bottom. That shit was just sitting like a little saucer on her head. I said, girl, you better do it, Miss Trinity. Face was dusted. Dusted. I said, yeah, girl. She did that. Fabulous. So at this point, I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is just too damn good. I have enjoyed myself this evening. And I think I've enjoyed this episode better than every episode all season, which is perfect. And then they did their lip sync for Your Life. And they were doing You Wear It Well. And I looked up there and Sasha was getting it. Do you hear me? Sasha's lip sync and some of the things she was doing and the facial expression she was doing reminded me of my drag mother, honey. I said, if that ain't Miss Blue up there, honey, with that bald head and her lip sync was down, looked like my drag mother, honey. I was like, come on, Miss Sasha, you better come on through. And they all were so good. You know, Peppermint was doing her, you know, what she could do in her ball gown, still clowning, but still classy because she did have a ball gown on. Shay was marching. And goddamn Trinity was walking around emoting, honey. I said, come on, Trinity, bitch. That bitch was standing up there, honey. You know she was beaded and draped to perfection. And that bitch was giving... I said, yes. I loved all of it. I lived for it. It was fabulous. And then Rue made me very, very happy when he said, tonight I am going to eliminate my top 4. I'll see you all for the finale. Baby, I fell on off the couch, honey. I said, come on, that bitch done did it again. So we got a top 4, and I am so excited. I am so here for it. And like I said, at this point, I'm going to do, because they're going to do a reunion next week. And then they'll do the finale. And I'm going to do, I promise you guys, I'm going to do reviews, but I really don't need to do them because I don't really give a fuck who wins. I really don't. At this point, I'm going to sit back here, baby, and cross my legs and get some ice cream out of that freezer in there. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to enjoy myself. I don't give a damn who wins. They all are absolutely deserving of it. So it doesn't even matter. But like I said, I promise you all, I am going to do reviews we're going to finish the season out. But I don't even care who wins. I am happy with this. I really am. I'm happy with the top 4. I'm happy with what they've done. It is what it is. And I don't really care. I don't care who wins, child. Somebody got to win. Fuck it, all 4 of them could win. The only thing now, and I think this is the bad part about reality contests, because I think some of the elimination process at this point with Rue is going to fall down to who needs it and who doesn't need it. And he's actually calling for the fans to hashtag and say who they want to win. He's checking for who needs it and who doesn't need it, I believe. And you see that a lot. You know, so I'm not going to be surprised if Shay doesn't win because Shay is not going to need it. Shay is going to be working. Period. So it's one of those. This Trinity. Trinity's going to be working. Um, Peppermint already was working. Peppermint's going to continue to work. Peppermint was a big hit in New York. I really believe in my heart, I believe it's going to end up being Sasha. And it's because of the fact that Sasha is so different that they're going to crown. I think they're going to crown Sasha. And it's not because she's better than the others. It's because I think she would be able to do the most with it. She'll be able to do the most with the crown. You know what I mean? And she would probably be the one that would be harder to book. The rest of them are going to book. They're going to book. It is what it is. Shay's going to dance the house down and give you a look the house down. Trinity's going to show her motherfucking body. That bitch is going to give you body and sex kitten. And Peppermint is going to entertain the fuck out of you. Those three bitches are going to work. I think Sasha would be able to do the most with the actual position. So that's the way I think it's actually going to go. But again, like I said, I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to leave this right here. And like I said, I will be coming back for reviews for the next two pieces of this. So don't worry. I'm going to review it. You got my word. All right, guys. Later. Bye.